dude, to this whole court storming fiasco. Okay. Kyle Palsky, for anybody this is one of those stories at this point that unless you've been under a rock, I don't know how you haven't heard of this, but Duke gets upset. Wake fans storm the court, as they're wont to do. And Kyle Palsky gets run into by a dude that's half his size. Kid does look like he's talking noise, okay? But who knows? Maybe he said, hey, great game. Maybe he said, you suck. Maybe he said a little something more poignant. Either way, Filipowski sprains his ankle. Now, I'm not a guy that's going to tell somebody that they're faking it, okay? I'm going to be real careful about that because I don't know for sure. All I know is it doesn't look like he sprained it. It also looks like he tried to freaking clothesline the kid. Not clothesline him per se, but like I thought he initiated the contact. And I watched that video 10,000 times. Now, I think it's safe to say that I'm watching it through a very narrow lens, okay? I'm pretty biased on the other side. Full disclosure. But I watched it over and over and over again. I've sprained my ankle 15 times, okay? There was no roll. And I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, this is drama, okay? And then the whole scene pops out, like they're helping him off. He's like crying. Okay, first of all, I've also sprained my ankle, and it hurts. Okay, spraining your ankle hurts. I ain't gonna lie, but I don't know if it hurts that bad. Okay, and then it was a Paul Pierce moment. Like I thought they were gonna bring him a stretcher out there, cart him off, and Shire gets in the middle of it, and then in the post game, and this is a weird thing, like. I hated Coach K, but like Shire is like, I'm kind of indifferent. Like, I'm saying I like him, but he just doesn't like create that same angst inside of me.
Yeah.
But with that post game, when he was talking about that, I was like, dude, are you serious, man? Like, so anyway, all that being said, that paints the picture. You've had Caitlin Clark, female, just absolute phenom. Okay. No way around it. She was involved in something too. We're going to unpack our thoughts a little further, but that sets the stage. So now the whole, everybody's talking about should they ban court storming? And I'm like, are we serious? Is this really a question we're asking here? Is this really the problem we're trying to solve? So anyway, I'm going to shut up about it. What are your thoughts, Big Hawk? I'm going to come back to my opinion, but nobody cares what I think.
Banning court storming. And some people are extremely passionate about this. Listen, court storming has been going on for a very long time. Why all of a sudden now are we starting to have these injuries? That's something that I can't figure out. Why now are we starting to have these injuries? The Caitlin Clark situation, scratched my head. Filipowski.
Sus. Sus.
And so the thing I think about is read the room. Like, are you not smart enough to put together that, hey, the students are staying around the court, they're about to storm it? Brace yourself. And also, if one of those students did push, Filipowski can push them right back. I'm not condoning violence, but protect yourself. If someone comes up and pushes you, okay, you just as a man, you don't let people push you. But I'm not saying that that's what happened. All I'm saying is you had to have known that Wake is going to storm the court. And in some capacity, why aren't you like understand that, hey, these students are coming out here? And also, I do believe that I think that court storming is a big part of college basketball. What makes it so special is the fan bases. And I think it is a very exciting time for students, especially for teams like Wake or other teams that, they aren't fighting for national championships like Duke is. And to beat Duke on your home court is a special experience. And so a lot of the students want to run out on the court and share that moment with their players, and they get a lot of joy out of that. And I really do feel like it's a great sense of pride. Now, some of these students, if they run out there and they're a little reckless, then they need to, you do something stupid, you should probably face, you do the crime, you do the time. Yeah, exactly. And just like if one of these students were to run up on Filipowski outside the basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to know, like, hey, listen, we live in a society that has rules, and you can't break these rules, and you've got to know what's right and wrong. But if somebody breaks those and they've, do the crime, you do the time. I am against, I think court storming is a great part of college basketball. I am not for banning it, and I actually do like it. And I've been part of a lot of court storming, unfortunately. And also, there's a great way to prevent court storming is just win the damn game. That'll take care of everything. But obviously, I understand that's not going to happen.
I love it. And that was where I was going to go. It's like, were you ever in college, at least, were you ever in a court storming situation where you were on the court?
Yeah, Georgia Tech.
Where you were on the winning side? Never, right?
No, I don't think so.
So it's like, it's coming from you matters a hell of a lot more than what I say, because I'm the dipshit on the court, right? Like that's, sitting in the nosebleeds. But from somebody like you that has only really experienced it in that same vein, I remember when you guys lost Virginia Tech at Castle Coliseum. I was on DTH sitting on the front row, and dudes are literally, that at Castle, at least it used to be, you sat right on the court side, on the sideline, and kids are literally running over us, stepping on the desk, like while we have our computers, we're like hunched over. And it was like, it really sucked, because I think you guys were number one at that time.
I remember it.
And it sucked losing as a Carolina fan, but it was also like, damn, you kind of envy that thrill, because you just don't get that here. And even if you're Carolina and you're having a terrible year and somebody comes in there and you beat the, number one team in the country, maybe, and that's the other thing too, is that Carolina or wherever, people that say, oh, we're too good to storm. Dude, come on, man. Like this is college, dude.
Yeah.
It's a great part of the game. There are no injuries over this stuff. Like, it's all made up. It's crazy that, and what really pisses me off is like all these people in the media, like ESPN and all these coaches and all this, like, this is like, it's the worst thing in the world. Like, you mean to tell me with all the NCAA problems, all the societal problems, all the conference alignment problems, all this stuff, you want to ban court storming? Like, this is what you're going to hit your wagon to? Especially when, look, Philip Palsky's a star. Caitlin Clark is a megastar. Both of those situations did not look authentic to me. She looked up when she was running off the court. She saw that girl and she ran right into her. And then Philip Palsky saw this kid coming and tried to give him the right tackle, and kind of whiffed at him and embellished like the kid hit him and it hurt him. And again, like, I shouldn't say embellish it, because I don't really know. All I'm saying is I bet you he'll be playing in the next game, and a sprained ankle, like Drake said, ain't nothing to play with. For at least a game, So it just struck me as sort of like, I'm trying to cuss less, guys, on here, and it struck me as bull crap. Which sounds awful, but yeah, it's just, I think it's ridiculous to ban court storming. It's like, you're not going to get hurt doing this, dude.
I agree.
Football, totally different story. Tearing down, this is a good example. When they're tearing down a field goal post, like, buddy, that's dangerous. Okay.
Yes.
Like that, when you had about 17 or 38 fireballs and there's a steel post the size of Missouri falling down and you happen to be underneath of it, like, it'll kill you. Okay. And also, my real court storming experience, I think I only had one, is when in 2004, Carolina beat Miami in football, Connor Barth field goal. And I was one of the first kids on the field. And I jumped over hedges and they were like telling us, hey, be careful and blah, blah. And we didn't listen to a thing they said. As soon as that ball went up in the air, I tell you what, if you go back and if you could find any sort of footage, as soon as because we couldn't see what was happening because we're standing like, all we could see is the ball go up over the guys on the sideline, and we took off. If he'd missed that field goal, I think the game would have gone to overtime, or maybe, I don't remember if it was a game winner or we were tied or what. But if it hadn't gone in, there'd have been 10,000 kids on the field, and it had to get them all off. And so, of course, it goes in, and I'm running down in front of Miami fans because I'm in college, I'm young, and I'm an idiot. And I start, talking noise, and I turn around, and I'm almost certain, I can't remember, I got to validate whether he was even on a roster, but I was like 5 feet from Jimmy Graham. And I shut up immediately. I was like, I'm going to go back over here with my brethren here because I ain't chirping at that dude, especially in what is probably a bad state of mind for him right now. So again, even in my like stupor, I wasn't stupid, right? Like I was like having a good time. I'm like, dude, I ain't picking a fight with Jimmy Graham. Ain't nobody I won't like he like hit me one time and I'll just turn to dust. So like, look, man, I just feel like it's overkill to the max. And it's one of the most like authentic parts of sports, period. Yeah. Why ban it? Because these guys, I mean, look, somebody really gets hurt. Okay, fine. I mean, you get hurt, playing defense. I just think it's BS. Anyway, that was my rant.